Daytime's fine, I'm managing the light. I do my work, I answer when they ask if I'm alright. I laugh at all the right moments, I say the proper things. I've gotten very good at wearing ordinary skin. But when the sun goes under and the dark rolls in, that's when all the honest parts of me begin to surface like a wreck that daylight hides, the things I keep below the waterline, and all the memories I thought that I'd forgotten come back so clear, so whole, so sharp, so honest. The way you slept, the way you said my name at night, the way the dark remembers everything. The day pretends it's fine, what the dark remembers, the daylight never shows. What the dark remembers, only the lonely knows. Every tender moment, every whispered word, what the dark remembers hits the hardest. What the dark remembers cuts the deepest. What the dark remembers, you. Oh! I've rearranged the furniture, the room, moved everything so nothing holds the shape of you. But darkness doesn't care about furniture. Darkness puts you right back where you were. 3 in the morning and I'm wide awake with every conversation that we used to make. The arguments that didn't need to happen, the apologies that came too late or never came. And I replay the moments I got wrong. I replay the moments where I wasn't strong, where I should have stayed and I walked out, where I should have spoken but I gave you down. What the dark remembers, the daylight never shows. What the dark remembers, only the lonely knows. Every foolish moment, every door I slammed, what the dark remembers won't be silenced. What the dark remembers won't be reason. What the dark remembers dance. I've heard that time rewrites the painful parts, that memory grows merciful with years. But my memory's a courtroom in the dark that replays every scene in vivid tears. I'm not asking for a pardon, I'm not asking to forget. I'm just asking for one morning where the night lets me reset. One sunrise without your face, one dawn without your name, one ordinary Tuesday that doesn't end the same. safest thing around. What the dark remembers is what love feels like when it's real. When it's real. When it's real, real, still real. What the dark remembers is you. Is you. We sit across the table every morning and pass the sugar without touching hands. We've learned to move around each other's silence, the way that water moves around the sand. We still say goodnight, we still say good morning, we still perform the rituals of care. But something in the inches between our bodies has grown into a distance hard to bear. Same air feels like first. The spaces between us used to be filled with love. The spaces between us were never wide enough. Now they stretch like oceans across a bed we share. The spaces between us are the only thing still there. The only thing still there. We laugh at something on the television. I turn to share it, but the moment's gone. By the time I find the words to say it, the show has moved, and so have we moved on. I saw you crying in the kitchen once. You stopped when you heard me on the stair, and I pretended that I hadn't seen it. We've gotten very good at not being there. I don't know when we learned to be so careful, so precise about the borders of our pain. But careful isn't love, and precise isn't living. And I'd rather have the chaos back again. The between us. Oh, nothing but air. Nothing but air. Just start talking in the dark. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're missing. Tell me if you feel it too. This quiet falling apart, because I would rather break this open, raw and bleeding on the floor than spare one more careful, measured morning, passing sugar, saying nothing. Between us are still small enough to cross, still close enough to reach, still ours, still ours, still ours. Come back to me. Just reach. Just reach.
Love with both your hands wide open, nothing held, nothing broken. You gave the way the rivers give, without asking how, without asking if. You'd leave a note beside the mirror, make the small things feel much clearer. Your silence was a kind of song, the kind that stayed when you were gone. I met others since the leaving. They were good and worth believing, but nobody loved the way you did. Nobody loved the way you did. I still remember how you loved, with your whole self, nothing above. And make it feel worth mending. I still remember every touch, the ordinary, everyday stuff. The love that didn't need to shout, that's the love I can't live without. I still remember how you songs do, slow and warm and tried and true. You never needed grand gestures, just your hand in quiet measures. Early mornings, late night talking, side by side, and sometimes
just you
and your open hand. I don't know if love is something that we find or something coming, but I know that what you gave me left a shape inside that saved me. And though the years have rearranged things and the world has never stopped its changing, there's a room inside my heart where you love me from the start. I still remember how you loved with your whole self, nothing above. The way you'd hold a broken thing and make it feel worth mending. I still remember every touch, the ordinary, everyday stuff, the love that didn't need to shout. Oh, that's the love I still dream about. I still remember how you love. It wasn't a storm, it wasn't a fight, it wasn't the slamming of a door at night. It was quieter than that, more final somehow, like the last light leaving a room, and I didn't know how to name what I was watching as it slowly went away. How a love that filled the years could just dissolve inside a day, without a word, without a warning shot, without a trace, just the last light leaving and the dark taking its place. I've seen sunsets that I thought would never end. I've seen the longest summers finally bend into autumn without asking for permission. That's the way it went, without a word, without a vision. When the last light leaves, you don't hear it go. When the last light leaves, you just stop to know that the room is different, that the warmth has changed. When the last light leaves, nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. I looked across the table and I saw it there, in the way you held your coffee, in the way you didn't care to look up when I entered, didn't notice when I left. Just two people in a house, running low on breath. And I wanted to reach its choice to go away.
So I sat there in the half-dark, watching daylight die. Didn't reach across the table, didn't ask you why. Some endings are too honest to be dressed in drama's clothes. Some endings just wear silence and the closing of a door. When the last light leaves, you don't feel the cold. When the last light leaves, you just feel old and tired in a way that sleep can never really cure. When the last light leaves, nothing feels as sure
as the darkness that comes after
what was pure.
I sat there until midnight. I sat there until the street went quiet too.
I sat there in the dark of what we'd been and what we'd become, and I understood that some things don't end loudly, some things just exhale, like a candle that burns faithful to the very end of its wick and simply stops. And the room isn't angry, and the room isn't sad. It's just a room now, just walls, just air, the way it was before. We filled it with everything we had. Everything was always gonna be okay, gonna be okay. Even now, even this way, even in the dark of what we couldn't say. When the last light leaves, you learn to love the dark.
Never talked about forever. We just talked about tonight. And every night became another, till the days outweigh the light. You'd say my name like a question, I'd answer like a prayer. We were building something careful on foundations made of air. the hallway of almost and nearly there, with your hand in mine and your scent in the air. We never said the word we meant, we just held on where the feeling went, somewhere between hello and goodbye is where I'll find you if I close my eyes. Your coat still hangs beside the doorway, your coffee cup still stains the shelf. I keep the light on in the kitchen, as if you might come home yourself. We were good at almost loving, we were fluent in the gray, and every morning felt like either could be our first or final day. I don't know where we were going, I just know I didn't want to stop. I was yours in every almost, right up until the final drop. And now I live in between the spaces, in the pauses of my days, still translating what you meant to say, still lost inside the haze, somewhere between hello and goodbye is where we lived and didn't ask why. In the hallway of almost and nearly there, with your hand in mine and your love in the air. We never said the word we meant, we just held on where the feeling went, somewhere between hello and goodbye is where I'll love you for the rest of my life. The house is dark except for one small flame. I set it in the window just in case you came. The neighbors probably think I've lost my mind, a grown man burning candles for someone left behind. I made your favorite coffee, let it cool. I'm not sure when I stopped being rational, but rational was never what we were. Two people burning bright and burning hard. The midnight comes and goes without a sound. The candle keeps on burning, burning down. And I keep watching shadows
for you. It only burns for you. It always will.